What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pop Culture Corner. Tonight we have a little pop culture update. So I did want to say sorry. So I've been trying to upload the video or the interview with Chad Michael Collins, and my editing software keeps crashing my computer. So I've put out a little email. I'm actually having trouble with my Disney Plus as well. So I've just been having a bad week with technology. So make sure to like, share, subscribe. I know we didn't. I didn't alert anyone. Didn't really promote the show, but I'm here with Black Ops. We do have a lot to talk about today, as a huge shakeup at Warner Brothers starts to unfold. Halo is on its second episode, third tomorrow.
Yep.
And then Morbius is currently out. And what do you think? Let's start with Morbius. What do you think about Morbius? Did it deserve the Rotten Tomatoes score? Actually, let's check that. So what is the Rotten? What did you think of Morbius?
I actually did not mind it. I just got done watching it, and to be honest, I understand where people have issues with the movie, but overall, I think for what it is and what it overall the kind of the plot is, it kind of does its job. And I just wish it was longer to have more time to flesh out kind of the story. But I just the only issue I have is kind of with the villain.
Right.
It's just kind of
It's a carbon
stereotypical.
copy. But no one ever has a problem with it when it's like, well, I don't know about that, because like Marvel has a habit of doing that, right? Having their characters, their villains be like, it's the first movie, it's like a carbon copy of him or her. So it's not something that we haven't seen before in every, like an Ant-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, like all those characters, Hulk, they all had that same carbon copy first movie.
Yeah,
Right.
they're good, but
So,
then they
but
turn bad.
now Morbius is getting hated on for it like extra. So I guess that's my problem.
I just, it just my like I said, my issue is with kind of like how they created and kind of did their villain. But my main problem, overall as a movie, I think it's pretty solid. I do enjoy it. I mean, they could definitely do better because I mean, for an hour and 20 minutes, it just felt like it was kind of like, all right. So right away, kind of his childhood, like who Milo is, which is Matt Smith, kind of get into that, and then boom, right into the vampire shit, and then it's just Milo's gone bad, and that's what it is, and then it wraps up. That's pretty much the synopsis of the whole movie, and then
the post credit scene,
yeah,
like
which they were leaked and kind of already. They've been basic. Not only were they
it's
leaked,
not
but
really
they're
a good post
spoiled.
credit scene if you show it in the trailer.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was gonna get to is my whole problem with Morbius, because I think the movie on itself is obviously full of studio interference and stuff doesn't really make sense. Especially with them promoting Michael Keaton and showing him in the trailers, which is their post-credit scene, yet he's not in the movie. And kind of the way they do Morbius at the end.
It currently has a 16% on Rotten Tomatoes on the tomato meter with 205 reviews. So it's probably going to sit there at 16, hovering around 16 to 20%. I'd say it will finalize that. And then but the audience score is 70%.
Which I would give it that. Yeah, I would give it that.
DVS situation. The critics slam it, and then the fans go out and they're like, well, why? Like, this was decent. It wasn't the best. Like a 70%. Not the greatest, right? We wouldn't say that was the greatest score, right?
Yeah, it's like a C,
but
C
what
minus.
I think Zack Snyder's Justice League is like a 76, right?
For the critic score?
Yeah. I think it's pretty low, like 76. So, I mean, 76 is like a decent score, considered a decent score, right?
Yeah, but that's for critic scores. Critic score, they always like. I don't really care for the critic score.
But then again, the Rotten Tomatoes formula doesn't work. Like how they do it, it doesn't really convey actual like if you liked it in Rotten Tomatoes' eyes, you loved it, and if you didn't like it, you hated it, right? It's either one or the other, and then they generate this score somehow. So I don't know. I've never really cared for these scores, but it's a good thing to look at, right? For us to like kind of just display it. In my opinion, Morbius could have been better. The writing could have been better. I thought it was pretty like this would have fit in early 2000s. This would have been like an early 2000s X-Men style movie to me, like in my mind. Same with Venom though. I didn't really like either Venom
I did.
movies.
I mean, I'll say this. I the first Venom movie was okay. It wasn't like amazing, but I just love that they did Venom. Venom 2, I wasn't a fan of. I honestly watched it once and I don't think I'll watch it again just because it does that same kind of story. And it's just is like I don't get it. Like they just don't understand the properties that they're doing, and they just don't know how to flesh out a story. It's like they want to pump out movies, but then wonder why they fail or why fans are just like, we're done. I mean, after TASM 2, they should realize that they should spend more time developing a story
Yeah.
and fleshing out instead of just
Rather
making
than just rushing through the acts, like just to get to the end. It
that's
seems like
exactly
that's
what
what they're
Maurice felt
doing.
like. That's what
Is
Maurice
they're
felt like.
rushing to get to the end, and they need to slow down. They need to pump the brakes a little bit, and they need to focus on what makes a story worth
Yeah.
listening to
You gotta
or
get us
worth
invested in the
watching.
characters first before we spend all our time, getting like because Morbius right now, I feel like they're because obviously we were kind of like figuring out the whole multiverse aspect considering Spider-Man No Way Home, but this movie just kind of adds to it, but in a
And,
way that it doesn't really make sense or we really care about.
right, and honestly, coming off the heels of Spider-Man No Way Home, this was the next. This was supposed to originally it was supposed to come up before it, but now as the studio sees it, right, this was going to be the next film right after Spider-Man. So you have a lot to live up to by doing that. So
Because this is
maybe
continuing the multiversal story that
exactly,
started with
exactly,
WandaVision, but
exactly,
it didn't feel like that, and it was
right.
just felt lackluster. And I
And do
feel
you think if Spider-Man No Way Home didn't come out till after Morbius, it would have been a cool little lead up?
I feel like I don't know because
I
considering the
think it would
post
have
credit
done a little bit
scenes,
better by the critics if it didn't come out after Spider-Man. If it came
I
out
don't
before
know
Spider-Man, I
because
think
it
it would have
wouldn't
been
make
like a 30.
sense. Because it'll be like oh, because we obviously know Spider-Man No Way Home and like what that did. So it's like you need to see Spider-Man to kind of be like, oh yeah, this is just a continued, the multiverse is continuing impact. But if it was the other way around, it'd be like, okay, so what the hell is going on? Why is he getting transferred? What is going on? What did Peter Parker do?
Right.
And
And I see
our
what you're
universe,
saying.
but
I
so it's
do.
just like but they could have just easily just focused more on fleshing out Morbius as a character with before trying to kind of put him into that MCU kind of
I
or
agree.
Venomverse, but because that's what
Yeah.
I feel like they cared more about. They like
And
that's why it was an hour and 25 minutes in my mind. Like they just wanted to get to the post credit scenes.
right. And that's what they did with Venom as well. The second one. The first Venom, listen, the first Venom I can get through it. Like I can get through it with a little bit of dignity, but the other I can't do it. Like I can't watch I would never watch Venom 2 again.
And those
But
post credit
Morbius,
scenes were awful. I'll be honest. I've never seen like I thought this like okay, I'll give it this. Morbius post credit scene was definitely better than the post credit scene, or at least one of them, and Spider-Man No Way Home and Venom 2 combined. Because let's be honest,
well, no, I like the
did
Venom 2 post credit scene. I like it. I like the Spider-Man
oh
thing.
well, but it's pointless though.
But then
It's
again, Spider-Man No
practically
Way Home kind
pointless.
of threw that away. They
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
they
It's pretty much pointless. It was
it didn't
cool in
even
the
last
moment.
a month.
It
Like
was literally it went from
Venom was in the
yeah.
MCU for like a month and a half.
Oh yeah, but of course,
And then he left a little droplet.
then he
So,
went back to the Sonyverse, which that doesn't even make sense why the droplet's there. So that's another issue I have with it because how
well,
the
if he
hell
can
does
get
the whole
there before, he can get there again, right? Like that's what I want to know. Was it Venom that took him there, or was it what happened in Spider-Man?
that it
Which
was what happened in Spider-Man because I don't think Venom has is because America Chavez is probably the one person I think that could do that. Be is an interdimensional kind of like
right,
hero.
yeah,
Venom is just like yo, I'm Venom.
or something like that's what I didn't understand is they didn't really tell you how Venom transported, and I guess we
It's
just
just
assumed that
like
it was the spell. I mean
well, yeah, it
the
was just like how Green Goblin and Doc Ock got there. It's just
right.
they created a
However,
shift and they got pulled.
on the TV, it was showing I guess it was showing the events like
Far
it
from
seemed
home.
too close. yeah, it showed the events of Far From Home and like right at the end, and then we're supposed to believe that in that same little time frame, like all that Spider-Man No Way Home took place. Well, the whole first act took place. I don't know. That's just me.
I just think that it was kind of pointless and just it's Sony being Sony trying to make their universe more relevant,
Yeah,
but
they're
also
they're trying
just
to run
doing it
parallel with
however.
Marvel so that they can jump back and forth, and that way we continue to go watch these movies simply because we want to see if it connects, right? Like honestly, that's what people want these days is the connecting thing.
Yeah,
That's
continuity is key, and that's why I think Marvel has this really strong suit in whether it's between the TV shows or the movies. There's strong continuity. I don't know. I mean, because right now in the second saga that we're kind of getting, the TV shows are kind of all it's kind of a little harder to see where everything connects,
yeah.
especially with Moon Knight because it just feels like they're establishing a lot of new characters and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, speaking
But
of Moon Knight,
you know.
what is your thing? What is your thought on Moon Knight? Like, do you like what they're building? I really do.
My issue is I love Moon Knight. I definitely enjoy the episodes, but my problem again with it is I just feel like there's 6 episodes in the season and we're on episode 2 already, and I still feel like we're in that first episode, like we're still continuing off of that. We're not building, like getting towards something. It's like obviously we're kind of getting a little more detailed. They're working together. We see a new suit and we find more about his character, and
Yep.
obviously the villain kind of gets more fleshed out, but it's just like, what are we going towards? We
Right.
have 4 more episodes left, and we're still
I felt
climbing.
that way about a Hawkeye too, though.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of issues with these shows. They do, and they're
With
like 35
Hawkeye, like you
minutes.
knew it wasn't a 12 episode series, so you're like, when are we gonna get to like the good stuff, right?
That's
Like there's a
yeah.
little bit here and there, but nothing that will get you out of bed, right?
That's what
Like
I'm
nothing.
saying.
And
Punisher,
yeah,
Daredevil, and those shows with their
we're
12 episode hour
fire.
structure were fire because they could have like a slower episode or something that like draws and continues the story, but that there's still so much more to come, and it works. But the thing is, they just want to like kind of just quickly do stuff, kind of boom, 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 and then move on. But it just does not work. Falcon and Winter Soldier is a prime example, in my opinion, of their kind of their lineup for their shows not working. That show felt extremely just not like it was meant to be, and it's just I really have nothing else to say, but they just definitely need to stop with the 6 episode 35 minute and kind of
Yeah, dude,
they need to be consistent. I need consistency
I
in longer
cannot.
episodes.
There's one thing I cannot stand. It is 30-minute episodes. I
Mhm.
literally, dude, it drives me
Especially when
insane.
you're like, this is our first time seeing Moon Knight, I think, in live action, and you're doing it in a series with 6 episodes, and I think one of them was like 45 minutes, or I don't know. I have to check the runtime again, but they're definitely not an hour. Both of them are not an hour, and there's 4 more episodes left.
Yeah,
Like
because
it's just
what
like
they
it's either
say,
have a season 2 rollout soon, or like a part 2 to season 1 soon, or just make sure you nail the last 4 episodes and definitely kind of just evolve the story more than just what's his name, Stephen Grant flipping out and like having a fucking panic attack every 2 seconds, and like Mark, like, you gotta let me take control. Like, if I see another fucking episode of Stephen Grant having like a mental breakdown and Mark just constantly screaming at him, give me control, I'm gonna be like, bro, what is the point?
like, what?
But
Why am I still watching this?
like, bro, just like, come on,
Kill
we've
me
seen.
already.
Yeah.
Start. No, and that's the thing. Dude, I agree with you that there is a lack of action and like there's a lack of. It's not that the bad episodes. It's that they needed more time, and you could have fit the first 2 episodes in most of the
Oh, they
Disney
should have
Plus
did the first
series.
2 episodes into one.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. In all of the Disney Plus series so far, I feel like you can combine the first 2 episodes with most of the series. WandaVision for sure. They did. They played them the same night, right? They were virtually the same episode. Um, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yep. What else is out? What else came out?
I
Hawkeye.
honestly,
Hawkeye. I just thought that the
what
final 2
if?
episodes were. Yeah. What if I just couldn't stand? What if was
I
so stupid?
love that. I love that because that's the thing. Like, how the hell can you have an episode basically being like, what if something happens, and then have an episode that completely kind of like flushes out a storyline. But for your major projects such as Moon Knight, it takes multiple episodes just to kind of get off the ground. Like, but it's just weird. But I'll say this again: I do love Moon
Like,
Knight.
what if?
It's
What
just
what
Disney
if?
Plus's structure is not good. Like, I
Yeah,
love the show, but dude, you could do the first 2 episodes into one large episode. That would be like, imagine if you put episode 1 and 2 together, and that would be your introduction. That would be amazing, because not only do you get introduced to the character, you get more story, you learn more about the character all in one episode, and you kind of, it drives the villain story together. And it's like, okay, we still have like 5 more episodes left. Like, dude, like, there's so much room for potential. But now it's like we have 4 episodes left, and we're just, I mean, obviously at the end of the second episode, there's something major that happens, so definitely check it out. But it's like, that's the only thing I could see driving the story, but there's still so much. And I don't know if they're gonna pull a Game of Thrones and just kind of like skip between settings and plot points and just continue and just kind of like push
right,
the pace.
right.
But
I
I,
I
you know,
the Disney, yeah, everybody's been, you know why everybody's been raving about the Disney Plus shows is because they always have one episode that does something insane. And then everybody talks about that one thing. Like Hawkeye had Kingpin, right? Uh WandaVision had a lot,
Scarlet
but
Witch.
but no, the what's his name? Quicksilver.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
What do
I
you
was
mean,
just
dude?
saying,
That was one of the biggest things ever. That was one of the biggest internet like blow ups. Was when he walks and he's her brother.
oh, I just like
We
was like,
thought the mutants were coming to well, now we know they're coming eventually, but that we thought that was it right there. They did it in the first show, in the first fucking series, dropped the
I was
bomb,
just
but it ended up being
thinking that the
stupid.
big thing you're gonna talk about is just overall becoming the Scarlet Witch, because that, to me, that's like the biggest takeaway. Because Ralph Boner isn't a huge takeaway. The man's, it's
Well,
like a
yeah,
coffee
at the end of
section.
it, when we found out who he really is, that was stupid. I was so
But
pissed.
yeah, I mean, still, even when it was like we didn't know that, I was still kind of like, okay, cool. But what else are we gonna get? Because I'm like, that's cool, but it doesn't make sense. And I get it. That's probably why it was talked about, because it was basically like, okay, there's already a Quicksilver, so why are they doing this? Like, what the hell? Multiverse of
Yeah,
Madness already.
Ralph Bonner was a troll by Marvel. Marvel trolled their own audience, and the biggest troll yet. But no, it was, I mean, I I think, yeah, but yeah. So Hawkeye, Kingpin, um, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, he becomes Captain America. That was pretty dope. It was a big moment for everything. And then WandaVision, yeah, with what we thought was Quicksilver from the X-Men universe, and now Moon Knight. Most likely, there's something that I know about that I don't know if it's true, but we'll find out. And if it is true, it's going to be pretty big. So I can't wait to see if that happens. But anyway, off of Moon Knight. Overall, I give the first 2 episodes probably a 7.8 for the series so far. I'm really liking Oscar as Mark.
He's
I think he
so
dialed it
good in
in.
the series.
I think he dialed it in pretty well, especially when you're playing multiple personalities. That you're playing like 9 characters in one, right? That I have an aunt that is that has that multiple personality disorder, and like, dude, it's no joke. It's not a joke. It's insane. Like, you know what I mean? It's a lot. Like, she would just on a dime switch, and you don't know. Like, you try to keep them
Like, who are
safe.
you talking to?
You don't know it at any point. This person could be someone else. And then, like, there was one night that she's my aunt, and she's a little wacky. Well, she's not really my aunt. She's like married into the family. You know what I mean? Like, someone in my family married someone in her family, and then so we're not really blood, but like we know, like we you know what I mean. So one night she changed into a different personality, and she walked from the outskirts of the city into the city, so probably 20 miles, and she did it in like 2 hours. It was like from the time she went missing, Like my mom called the police. They found her an hour later, 20 miles away in Boston. We were astonished. Like, so she like somehow, dude, that's 20 miles in 2 hours on foot. And it was an older lady. So like, dude, you like when you're dealing with someone like that, it's a very difficult scenario. And that's what you know what I mean? I've been thinking about that. The aunt, like, I've been thinking about her and how that could, you know, how they do multiple personalities in a show like this. And I think they've kind of got it down. It's definitely an interesting take. But I like to see that they're not afraid to display that in the series because it does bring awareness and, you know, all that. But yeah, I like this. I like the show so far.
Yeah, I do too. I think I would actually give it like an 8.5 so far. I
Oh,
just think,
damn.
yeah, because my issues aren't with the show itself. I just think that the way they structure their shows are the problem. Because I
Okay.
love Moon Knight. It's a great show, but I just like I said, 6 episodes, 35 minutes per episode, and just kind of extending an
So
intro
it's
to the
really three.
character.
By the way, that's really 3 episodes in my mind,
Yeah, kind of.
right?
Yeah.
That's 3 hours, 3 hours and 45 minutes. 4 hours. We'll call it 4 hours.
They should do like if they're gonna do like more Marvel shows, they should go like the Kenobi route, where 6 episodes, an hour each. That will be at least a
How
step
do you
in the
know
right
Kenobi is
direction.
an hour long?
So haven't there been constant reports about that since the show's been announced that the
I don't
runtimes are like
know.
an hour each, 6 episodes?
I'm not
Or
huge into Star Wars, so I didn't know that was out already. That
oh,
they
it's
were
not out already,
talking about.
but
No, that they were talking about that the
yeah.
runtime. So when does that come out?
May 27th.
Oh, we still got quite some time. That's
Yeah.
interesting. By the way, when we were talking about Doctor Strange 2 tickets did go on sale today. Did you get your tickets?
Yep.
You
Got
did.
'em right when I woke up.
What
I was
day?
actually a little bit
What day
late.
you going?
I got the 6. I woke up a little late because my alarm just didn't wake me up enough. So I was like, ah, shit. And then I had to, so I got the 6, which is the initial release date. But I wanted to go the 5th, but
On the Thursday, right?
yeah, the Thursday.
Yeah, so I'll be doing the show from Showcase on that Wednesday. I'll be recording it. Get to see it a day early, like literally. So a day early on Wednesday. I'm gonna get to watch it with the crew there. So they do like a family and friends one, and they always invite me in. So I mean, whenever it's free for me, so it's awesome. So I get to go see it, record my episode, and then I go home, and then I don't have to worry about it again. And it's awesome. I love it. You know what I do want to? I want to go see the Batman again, but for Doctor Strange, what do you think we're going to be looking at? I kind of think Nightmare is going to be the villain. The way that
I
Wanda
have
says
no
Nightmare,
idea.
yeah, the way Wanda says Nightmare when the new trailer opened, I was like, wait, those words like didn't fit together. They didn't. Like I feel like she said Nightmare at a different time than she said the other stuff. Cause the way it's like you can hear it. So I feel like Nightmare's and I've been speculating that for a long time. I've thought Nightmare was going to be the villain since the beginning. I still think it. I don't think we'll ever, or I don't think we'll see, what's his name, anytime soon.
Mephisto.
Mephisto. I don't, because of the China thing. Until Marvel's a little bit more comfortable with not having that audience, and they get a little bolder, then we might see Mephisto. But I do think Nightmare is going to be the villain in Doctor Strange too. And so I asked Black Ops a little bit earlier. I said, "What do you think about that?" He said he didn't know who Nightmare was. So I thought it'd be, I don't think you're the only one who doesn't know. So I was thinking we could take a little look-sees at his Wikipedia. So for anyone who doesn't know, so Nightmare is a fictional, and I wanted to kind of just read it out because complicated, very complicated villain, and that's why I think it would be super fun to have him in the MCU, at least for one movie. So Nightmare is a fictional supervillain that appeared in the American comic books published by Marvel. He first appeared in Strange Tales 110 and was created by Stan Lee and Ditko. The character is depicted most commonly as a major enemy of Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider. Wouldn't it be cool if we saw Ghost Rider in Doctor Strange too?
That
I'm on
would.
board. Even if it's the guy from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I would be down with that. Did
Yeah,
you
I mean
watch
that's
Agents of
more.
S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I mean, I saw it. I mean, I don't mind the actor that plays him. I just am like, I see the design of Ghost Rider, and I just kind of cringe a little bit.
In Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know about the
interesting.
design, and plus, wasn't it a car, not a motorcycle, too?
So there's been the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider is different than Johnny Blaze or whatever his
Well,
name is.
yeah. Oh, yeah. True. I
So
don't know. It's been a while.
they
Like,
do
when did
different
that come
things.
out?
Robbie Reyes is like he's I think he's like the second iteration of Ghost Rider, because Ghost Rider is it's a curse. It's not it's more of a mantle, so to say, kind of like James Bond. 007, I should say. So Nightmare is the ruler of the dream dimension. Now, we have seen other dimensions in Doctor Strange and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, to date. But the dream dimension, um, you know, going to the multiverse is one thing, right? But we kind of started down this path of like different realms when Doctor Strange started. So I hope they're going to mix that with the multiverse. So we get to see more dimensional characters, and it's not just the multiverse that's at stake here. So I think they're trying to protect the multiverse from Nightmare, who's the ruler of the dream dimension, and he is one of the Fear Lords. He's also part of a group called Six Fingered Hand, and he has the ability to draw power from the psychic energies of the subconscious mind of dreaming beings. So he kind of feeds off dreams, kind of like a Freddy Krueger style thing, but a little bit more PG. I love it. Nightmare is really cool. I think because we already know that Baron Mordo is going to be after him as well, at least for some part of the movie. I don't know if, because Mordo is, his carbon copy, right? Right. That's something that people are complaining about right now. Morbius. Baron Mordo is literally the that's who he is. He's the carbon copy character. Just like Yellow Jacket and Ant-Man, right? Like Iron Man and God. What was Iron Man? What was Josiah?
Oh, Captain America.
No, no.
Wait, just wait. Oh, I thought you were talking about
No, who was
the Young Falcon.
what Warmonger, right?
Oh,
No, Ironmonger.
I'm so. What are you?
Iron Man's first villain in Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1. That was Obadiah
Stane.
Stane.
Yeah. But he has a name in the comics. Like a villain name. I think it's Iron something. Ironmonger or like I don't know. I forget. But someone probably knows. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna Google it.
We gotta wait for our audience to come back. I haven't been doing a lot of streams lately, so I gotta start going consistently so people know. But he is the evil ruler of the dream dimension, where tormented humans are brought during their sleep. He roams this realm on his demonic black-horned horse named Dreamstalker. That's all you need to know. That already sounds like a dope villain. Tell me it doesn't. Dude rides on a demonic black-horned
It's
horse.
Ironmonger.
Ironmonger, I was right. Boom. Yeah. So he kind of has a green bodysuit, and what they say is wild green hair, and he does he does love the torturing people. So I think he could be a really cool villain for Doctor Strange 2. I think we're gonna see a lot in Doctor Strange 2. We do know that Nicolas Cage is not. Why did I say Nicolas Cage? Because of Ghost Rider, I think, right? That's why I said it.
Yeah.
Oops. Actually, yeah, we could say that too. I don't think I don't think he's going to be in the film, but I do think there could be an appearance by some sort of Ghost Rider. I don't know. And I mean, do you think
Hopefully.
we'll see alternate versions of of Cap and Iron Man. Do you think those rumors have any validity? This movie comes out in less than a month.
Yeah. I think exactly. Less than a month. But
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
one
know.
day
I
less
don't
than a
know.
month. Hey, Benson's. Thank you, man. Ty, hope things are getting better after fire. Yeah. You know what? I'll be honest. He really enjoyed Morbius and seen it twice. Hope he gets the chance to face Blade. See? That's what we're talking about. I hope he gets it. So
Yep,
that's what I was saying too.
exactly. And I hope they actually have Marvel. Because that's the thing, again, with Morbius. Sony didn't have the help of Marvel and, Kevin Feige. And what do you know?
Yeah.
Sony drops the ball again by dropping all this in Tobey Maguire
And I
posters,
think,
Michael Keaton. And they baited you. It's false advertisement at, like, the best example,
yeah, I mean,
in my opinion.
they did advertise it in a way that was drawing you in. Like Michael Keaton was going to be in it a little bit more. There was going to be a little bit more connectivity, and they were flaunting it. They weren't
And they
hiding it.
just straight up misled the
Yeah,
audience with
and then
the
it was
Tobey
just a
Maguire.
total
That's
solo
so
film.
wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah, and I agree, but I think that a movie like Morbius, when you know what you have and it's Morbius, right? You look back, you know the film, right? You're the studio. You're like, I've seen it, I know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
How do I advertise it? You probably know it's a little bit bad, right? How do I
Oh, it's an hour
advertise this to
25 minutes
still
and
get
rushed.
money? Yeah. So you know what I mean? If you're a studio executive and you're like trying to market a piece of shit, you're gonna say anything to get people to buy it, right?
Yeah, by basically misleading them and
Technically they
making you
didn't,
think it's
right? Because
something it's
Michael
not.
Keaton was in the trailer. I mean, Michael Keaton was in the trailer and he was in the film technically, right?
Well,
So they
technically,
could
yeah, in
get
the
off
post
by,
credit, but still.
like, if you tried to sue them and say you false advertised me, you falsely tricked me into going to see Morbius and now I'm
False
suing you.
marketing.
Yeah, I bet they would win.
Oh, I
Not because
bet
they're
they would.
lawyers or anything like that, but I think that technically they didn't. Like, it wouldn't be considered. But in my mind, maybe I feel a little bit used. Maybe I feel a little dirty, right? Maybe I
Yeah,
feel a
I
little
definitely
gross.
feel used and just kind of like, bruh. But I'm fine with it. I mean, it was a decent movie for what
Hey,
it is.
Eric.
It just felt like they just didn't care.
Yeah. Well, that was like a super misdirect with the Infinity War Hulk
Yeah.
thing. So
Well,
they
yeah,
like
that's not.
super
Yeah.
misdirect that one. Um, and they've been known to do that. Um,
But I don't
and
feel like it's as big or like it's the same thing. I mean, yeah, the Hulk thing, but it's not like Hulk is
but you
not
still
in the
got a
movie or
great
not.
movie with Infinity War. So you didn't look at that and go, motherfuckers tricked me into going to see this goddamn Infinity War movie. And then you're like, no one said that because they were like, that movie was good. That was great. Honestly, I liked Infinity War better than I liked Endgame. Endgame was more of an emotional ride, right? It was the end. It was an emotional ride. But I would still take Zack Snyder's Justice League over all of it. Like, I just think I like the tone and the seriousness of Zack Snyder's characters. Like, I really do. And that's just me. But yeah, Suicide Squad with the Joker. Dude, thank you. That was a great comparison. Exactly the same as what they did with the Joker and Suicide Squad. Even though the Joker's such a way bigger character, the scenario that we were looking at with Morbius connecting to the MCU, that in itself is as big as the Joker character being in the Suicide Squad with Harley Quinn, right? Like, I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy what a studio will do. Halo. So listen, I've been watching Halo, guys, and most of you know I do not like video. I do not play a lot of video games. I don't tend to like video games too much, but I am playing. I haven't got around to this yet, but Halo has a new show on Paramount Plus. Now, was I going into this show with huge expectations? Was I expecting to get my socks blown out? Was I expecting to get my mind blown? No. However, this show is not that bad. I kind of like it. There are a couple moments. Why did I just click that? There are a couple moments where the visual effects are a little spotty. And So this is me, right? I'm me. Never played Halo in my life, maybe once or twice. And I played for 35 seconds until I got killed. And I was like, nope, stupid. Right? Because anything I'm bad at is stupid. But kind of like the show. And I don't know the lore. I don't know the backstory. I don't know the other information, right? I'm a general audience member for Halo. So I get to tell you how it is. Like, as a general audience member, I think this show will get a second season so far. I think enough generalized people are watching the show or will watch this show. I like it so far. It's actually really cool. However, you've been telling me that there's some stuff that you don't like. There's some stuff that's wrong, I should say. Not that you don't like it, but there's some stuff that they're doing that they maybe shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, what I was saying, which actually, like, when we talked about this last time in regards to Master Chief removing his helmet. So just because of the new show, I've been replaying the games in chronological order. So I started with Halo Reach, and in that game they removed their helmets. Like, I'm 5 missions in, and they removed their helmets multiple times. Which Master Chief is a Spartan 2, and there's a character named George who's also a Spartan 2, who runs with a bunch of Spartan 3s, which is kind of like a different kind
I
of
don't
like,
get the numbers. I don't get it.
yeah, it's a whole complicated sort of thing. But basically, yeah, they all take their helmets off, all of them except your character so far. But I just kind of made me rethink and kind of analyze the whole
Oh.
helmet thing, because it's like everyone's losing their mind about it. But I'm like, all these Spartans do
Oh,
it.
I thought you were saying it was bad still.
Oh no, I mean, in
I
terms
mean,
of the show,
he had his helmet
it
off
still
the
is kind.
entire second
Yes,
episode.
yeah, that's the only thing I can say. Like, yeah, it's pretty bad that they're doing it like that. That they should, but hopefully they change it and kind of like change the direction with that and make him more established with the helmet. But it's only
Okay.
so
I mean,
much.
but so far, High Street. Oh, look, everyone's popping in now. Finally, they. But I'm gonna be starting to be more consistent. I promise. Um, we have our episode with me and Black Ops interviewed Chad Michael Collins, and that will be coming out as soon as I can figure out how to get around my editing software. It just keeps crashing my computer every time. The video's done. It's nicely edited. It's got all the trailers. It's a good episode. And
Yeah,
I've for some reason, I don't know, but I hopefully I fixed it. I think I fixed it. And yes, helmets. Yes, we're talking about Halo. So so far I thought that the little asteroid planet was a little cheesy in the second episode, a little bit cheese, but I don't think they had a huge budget for this series so far.
I
I'd be
think their
interested to know.
budget is. I mean, for CGI is, of course, we have such a high standard now regarding CGI. But to me, it's like, you know what? It's cool. They're doing it well. I enjoy it
Oh
so
no, it
far. The
has a
stories.
massive budget.
Yeah. How much is it?
Jesus, over $90 million. Each episode having an expenditure of 10 million.
Wow. So I mean, wow. So now I'm like, okay,
That blows my
the
mind.
CGI
The
should
CGI should be
definitely be
so
pretty.
much better.
Should god dang crystal clear. But I mean, but nah, it's not. I honestly, it's like noticeable thing at some point. So
It
I'm
was
just
on
like,
the. It was mostly the asteroid planet that I noticed that it was cheesy. That was like that's that like even that guy's
Reach.
wife.
Oh, and never mind.
Even that
Never mind.
guy's
I said
wife, the black guy that escapes in the beginning, his wife was super corny. Her acting sucks. she's just a bad actor. So I guess that contributed towards it for me. But other than that, I think the show is great. I think there was a couple moments that I was like, yeah, meh. Um, but so far I'm really liking it, and it's got me interested in maybe playing the games. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is 60 million.
which they have a lot to do. Which I think Halo.
That's per
I'll say,
episode, I think.
yeah, that's what at least Mark is saying. But with Lord of the Rings, they're freshly establishing a certain time period that we haven't seen before. So there's a lot they have to do with it.
Yeah, because they
Where
have a total.
Halo, yeah,
So the Lord of the Rings is a total budget of 465 million.
which is crazy.
Think
But
about that.
Amazon is like,
Think
yeah,
about that compared to Halo. Halo, one episode of Lord of the Rings is more than the whole entire Halo show. Not really, but like in my mind, that's how I'm working it. But that's crazy. I wonder what's going to happen in that. I wonder. Oh God, I'm so excited for it. But yeah, so I have a question about Halo though. Well, I do have a couple questions. So, what is the thing that he has? What is that thing? The thing that glows and does all these crazy things.
I forget the name of the civilization.
I guess what I want to know is what is Halo? Like
Halo's
why
a
is the name of the
place
show
from an
Halo?
ancient civilization, which I got basically from when I talked to Hans. 'Cause I even asked Hans the same question, like, dude, I need to replay these games to understand it. But basically, that is an artifact from an old civilization that Halo's an actual place that holds artifacts, weapons, technology from an ancient civilization that kind of was kind of like a super intelligent species, I guess, or of people. And that's just an artifact, and they are trying to collect the Covenant. At least is trying to collect all the artifacts they can regarding this civilization and what in Halo and how to get there.
Interesting. But yeah, again, definitely a watch. Like I think any video gamer, or if you like sci-fi television, I think the show could be for you. You don't even need to know what Halo is. I'm watching it and I don't know what Halo is, and I think it's really good. I think they don't have to explain much. Like, because I get it. I get it, right? There's space cops. And the CGI here looked great. On this planet, that first fight was really good. So I suggest maybe watching the first episode. Oh, sorry. I definitely think watching the first episode will be beneficial because you'll see kind of what the tone of the show is, and I really, like I said, I as a person who doesn't know Halo, I'm enjoying it. I'm smiling. There are some things that I'm like, I gotta maybe ask or look up, but for the most part, the show is kind of doing its thing and kind of explaining it on the way. So we're along for the ride. There's another show that, and you guys know, anyone who knows that since the beginning, since Apple TV came out, I've been saying, watch out for that. It's gonna come up because Apple, they got money. They got money like Amazon. The 60 million episode, they got that kind of money. So they could be a very big proponent and not rival, but competitor with the bigger streaming services like Netflix and Disney Plus. I really do think, because Amazon, I don't know, man. I just looked it up. The first thing it says is Amazon boss. That's an article, I suppose. Maybe that's older. Yeah, maybe that. I don't know. I keep seeing 465. I don't know. I don't care. But Severance on Apple TV Plus has been added to the library. And my, oh my, is it a wild ride. Severance on Apple TV Plus, definitely a must watch. Must watch if you are into kind of that, like if you like Raised by Wolves and if you like that sci-fi that like you're asking questions, like kind of Westworldy. That's what kind of gave me vibe. Not, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, maybe Westworldy, but in a whole different sense. This show is so good, and not a crate. There's no action. It's more of like a mind thriller, and it's super good. The guy from Parks and Rec, Leslie's Ben from Parks and Rec, is the main character. I don't know his real name, but he does a fantastic job. All of them. Christopher Walken's in it. God, the other guy. He was just in the Batman.
Paul Dano?
No, not the Penguin, but the other guy, Sal.
I don't know his name, but I
Yeah, I
just
forget
remember
his
like
name.
Transformers guy.
Yes. He was in Transformers. Yes. He is so like he makes the show. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you exactly why, but his character makes the show. I don't know. He completes everything. And him and Christopher Walken kiss in that show. And it's the most epic moment for representation. Like, if you're gonna go. Because they balls to the wall. Like that moment, I was like, am I watching this right now? Like, did they really have the nuts to make Christopher Walken kiss another dude, another huge act? Like, I was like, that had balls to do. But they got other shows like the Morning Show. That's literally the name, the Morning Show. C, Foundation, Invasion, and now Severance. And they have a bunch of other good shows. So, dude, Apple TV, not expensive. And if you have if you get a new iPhone or new Apple device, you get a year of Apple TV Plus for free. So definitely check out those shows because they're super good, fun. And if you're looking for something new, there's a whole new site, a whole new streaming service for you to jump into. All right. Last but not least, the biggest thing in news today. I'd be on my head. Yep, there it is. So Warner Brothers is going through a huge, unprecedented shakeup right now. 6 more executives have joined Ann Sarnoff and Jason Kilar, departing from the company. So I think we've known this has been we knew this was coming, right? We knew it. We knew that the merger. These
I
people
don't
at
think
Warner
we
Brothers right
knew
now.
anything, but it was always an option. I think it was definitely on the table and was very likely to happen, but we didn't have anything for sure until it actually happened. And then, it's just like, dang, it's happening. We just gotta wait and see what more happens with it.
Well, so far it's looking good. Except, dude, I don't mind Jason Kilar. I don't. I like him. And a lot of people don't know that he was instrumental in the Snyder Cut greenlight. So, like, I saw people attacking him already.
Yeah, because he needs well, I mean, they needed content for HBO Max, so I understand that. But
yeah, the Snyder Cut was always a business decision. At the end of the day, it was always a business decision. They didn't do it
they didn't do it for the fans.
Yeah,
I'll
they
be
did
honest.
not. Dude, everyone wants to think that because you tweeted hashtag release the Snyder Cut that they released it. No, they saw that there was an interest. They saw, maybe, all right, maybe you type, hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Yes, maybe you can think that, it was greenlit because of you or because of the fans. Yes, I guess. Because the company looked in and saw that there was a demand for something.
And that there's a
We were
huge
in a
fan base
pandemic.
wanting it. So it's like, we'll get a shit ton of subscribers if we put this out there because everyone will want to watch this. And what do you know? A lot of people sub to see it.
Exactly.
But
and they had this huge beginning quarter. This huge opening. And now they've kind of leveled out. But there is a world. And listen, The Flash, have you read some of the leaks?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I read them too. And I'm not proud of myself because I usually don't do that kind of thing. But it's looking more and more like the Snyderverse, or let's call it the Zack Snyder's DC, because I don't like the Snyderverse. I don't like that word. It is looking more apparent that they're not closing the door. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to go into it.
At least if the leaks are somewhat true, but I always take it with a grain of salt.
Yes, of course. As with everything, take it with a grain of salt. But if they're to be believed, and now looking in at this, right? 6 Warren Media executives joined Jason Kilar and Sarnoff and Andy Forcell in exiting the company. So that's 9 huge hugely big people from Warner Brothers gone before this merger goes into effect and Discovery kind of comes in. We all knew, or I had built my beliefs that Discovery was going to come in, and it was kind of going to be like when AT&T did. They didn't really keep many people. They put their own people. Oh, at first, actually, AT&T did. They kept some people, but they had like multiple positions for a while, and then they cleaned house, and then that was it. That's what's going to happen, I think, with this merger. The Discovery executives are going to come in, and they're not going to want to do double positions, right? You don't want multiple people having the same title if you don't need to, because there's not 2 times the work, right? So they want to consolidate. You don't need to be paying this guy if or this girl. You don't need to be paying that if you already have your own. You're going to bring that guy in. You know him, you trust him, etc., so on and so forth. So I don't know. It's looking more apparent that maybe the Snyderverse does live on in some form or fashion.
Just, I mean, I don't know if that's exactly my takeaway to it. I mean, my kind of takeaway is that, like, I mean, they're just kind of putting
why
on
they
back
pushed the
burner.
Flash, presumably for reshoots, right? Presumably, they pushed the movie back a full year, and I just asked myself why. So it's not really hard to figure. There's an equation, right? The writing's on the wall, and that's what I was saying with Batfleck. Is the writing's on the wall? It doesn't look like he wants to play the character anymore. But maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It just looking more apparent. Everything, all these hints, all these things that are dominoes that are falling. It appears to me that I'm saying that there is a chance that the Snyderverse may continue, maybe someday. And then you look over, at what Marvel did and is going to do. It just seems like anything is possible, right? So the more and more I hear and the more and more I see, the more and more I think that one day it could happen. One day. And in the next 4 or 5 years, I think we'll know. And I wish I could talk to myself 5 years from now really quick and see if I'm right. But I don't know, man. I think good things are coming. I think good news is coming, and I would love to see more of those. I'm not saying Zack Snyder's coming back either. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the characters might be able to live on if we're to believe all this stuff. Batfleck, that door doesn't close. Superman, maybe we're like, because it seems like Supergirl is going to be the Kryptonian go-to going forward. I don't know about that either. I don't like that because I still really want to see Henry Cavill back. That would, if I can get Henry Cavill in 3 more movies, I'll be happy. Right? I want a Man of Steel 2. I want to follow up to Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, whether that's called Justice League 2, I don't know, or some other cameo-y role. Oh no, Black Adam. That was the other one, Black Adam. So, and I bet dollars to donuts that Warner Brothers at least knows that, look, dude, Henry Cavill is one of the biggest actors right now. Like, studios are clamoring to get their hands on this guy. And you have him in one of the most iconic roles in the world, in the history of characters. And you're flopping it. I mean, obviously, Sasha Calle is cheaper per movie. So getting, like, if they could tie it into Henry Cavill Superman, maybe like there'd be some rub off interest, Oh, she's like, maybe what they should do is have it, and I think I read this in the leaked thing, was that maybe in another universe she gets sent to Earth and Zod kills Superman as a baby when he's still on Krypton as a baby, and that scene where he fights with Cal's mom and dad, that's this where he kills him. So he never makes it off Krypton. Krypton blows up. But Supergirl does get off, and she's in some other pod. And we've seen that with the Supergirl show and everything like that. We've seen, so some people do know have a little bit of the background of the character. So I think it could work. I think it could work, especially if you show General Zod. If Michael Shannon's back, that'd be dope.
That's
I
the
would love to
rumor
see
from
him
the
back as
leaks.
Zod. People have been people love him in Farah. No, Feora. Sorry.
Very much. I mean, I love them both too. It's kind of sucks that they killed him off. I mean, I think he would definitely be a good potential. I mean, would you consider him being like? I mean, he's technically been the villain. I mean, for 2 out of the 3 Snyder-based directed
Hey,
movies,
evening.
if you count, him being turned into Doomsday as.
Well, yeah.
So technically, he's been the main villain.
Zod being in, if Zod is actually in the Flash, I think that's going to give a huge boost to the movie. I do. I think a lot of the Snyder people will go. That's the people, especially the ones that are saying that they're not going to go. Yeah, if Zod's in this, you're going to be running to the theater because like I would love to see him again. I really would. He was a great villain, and I don't think, I kind of wish he didn't die because Zod's like a huge part to the Superman mythology, you know. So,
But I mean, technically, in the grand
like, I wish
scheme of
they
things,
locked
there's
him up.
so many other villains. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of. But the way they killed him off was kind of impactful. I mean, I'm bummed that they
Hey,
killed him off, but I'm not extremely upset about it.
this is another thing. What do you think about this? So Ezra Miller is kind of a weirdo. I don't know how else to say it. He's kind of a weird guy. Like you see him on, like, let's not get it twisted, right? We all want to be like PC and everything, but that's not me. He's a weird guy. He's a weird dude, and he got a little drunk, and like he broke into someone's house. He is a weird guy.
I mean, wait, hold up. What? Broke in the house? I don't know the whole story, but I don't know.
From what I read, this is what I read. Maybe I should have read a couple articles. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I know he he walked into a bar in Hawaii and didn't like that the couple was karaokeing to that song in that movie with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga.
Shallow. There's been more about it. There's been more stuff about homophobic
but then he went to their home
and stuff like that.
Like he did something afterwards because he started like freaking out in the bar, but then he like said that maybe I'm misremembering, but I thought he like broke in like afterwards. What he really got arrested for was going somewhere else. Someone find the article.
But then he would be charged with breaking and entering if he broke into someone's house.
Maybe I read it wrong, but I know he followed them somewhere. Maybe that was it. Maybe he followed them somewhere. But
I don't
either
know.
way,
but
do you think that they could recast him?
Listen.
People are starting to think that they're gonna do it.
I just think this is my thing. We also know that Warner Bros. Isn't the most supportive company with the people that work.
That
for
would
them.
make sense though. Why they have to delay the movie that long? Well, I mean, they delayed it before he did it. Yeah, I was actually just gonna think that.
But the thing is, even during the production that came out today, he's had mental breakdowns. I don't know.
He said he was gonna go kill the Ku Klux Klan and everything. No one batted an eye at that one because he was saying it to a hate group. But like in reality, we have to look at that video for what it is.
And like, whoa.
Yeah, that's super drastic.
It's like
it's the KKK. We get it,
but still,
we all want them to like
drastic.
We all want the KKK to burn. But they'll burn in hell. Don't worry. Ezra goes out on his first Instagram post is like he wants to kill the KKK in southern wherever he's from. He's a weird guy. He's a weird dude. And now he's paying the price.
I don't know. I don't know if it's paying the price. It's obviously the guy has something. Ezra has something going on.
I know.
But he needs help. And
I'm the first one dude, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I know about mental issues, but I still never did that kind of shit. And I get it. There's a spectrum. There is a spectrum.
Differently.
And there are different types of people who, maybe there is a chemical imbalance in their brain that causes whatever. right? Maybe he does need help. But Warner Brothers has to figure out what they want to do. And they
But
need to,
yeah.
you know what they need to do? You know what
What?
Warner Brothers really needs to do is they need to come out and say something. Like if something like this happened, Kevin Feige would address it. And that's the difference. I feel like even though Disney's like shady at some points, I think to the fans they're better than Warner Brothers is. To the fans, they're honest, they're open. They'll just
Also, they have that that reliability with the fans and
right.
credibility that they're there for the fans. But the thing is with WB and like they're trying to get ahead and had an emergency meeting about the Ezra stuff and what to do with it. I find that to be utter horseshit because obviously the Ezra situation's drawing a lot light now. But bro, what about the whole Amber Heard and Johnny Depp shit? They fired Johnny Depp but keep Amber Heard, and that's causing way more shit show, and it still is with Grindelwald, the third Fantastic Beast movie
Yeah.
coming out. It's causing a lot of problems with that. And a lot of people are boycotting it because they did Johnny Depp dirty in a lot of people's eyes. So I think it's utter kind of bullshit that they're doing, kind of like having all
With
this
that
like
one, I just
hype about
didn't
Ezra.
care. Ezra, like, if there was domestic abuse involved in their relationship, of course that needs to be taken seriously. But at the end of the day, their relationship is their relationship, and I thought that both of them should have been still able to keep their jobs.
Yeah, because that's my feel. It's either none of them have a job with that, or both of them continue on doing what they're doing. Because I think it's kind of little, baloney that she still has a job and is able to fully work and get paid. But now Johnny Depp is out of a role, even though that she's come out and there's a lot of further stuff that's showing that she's abused him. Yet I don't know. It's just kind of stuff like that kind of triggers a lot of people. But I just think that in what WB, if they really wanted to kind of, do something right, they should. Yeah, I get they're gonna postpone the movie, but they should actually just try and seem like a caring company and
They're
be like,
probably
okay, obviously that there's something going on with them, and we're gonna try our best to give him the support and help he needs, and we'll do it, and we'll continue with whatever products at a later date because obviously it's postponed, so they can say that. But they need to, because I mean, obviously with the treatment of the Justice League cast and they had their own investigation, saying that they're doing an investigation on the Ezra Miller thing doesn't really bring anyone like oh, okay, they're gonna get to the bottom of it, because obviously so much is coming out about the Justice League case, but yet their investigation came up with nothing.
Do you think Walter Hamada will get through this merger? With his job, I should say.
He's had a lot of good success with it. I would not be surprised if he stays. Same with
the new company.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but I think so.
You know what I think a huge problem is going to be is they want to rename they want to rename HBO Max. I don't think you should do it. I think it's bad. I think a lot of people already are shaky on HBO Max as a streaming service. I think they're a little bit shaky on it. I think people right now drop it if there's not a show that they don't watch. Like if there's not something that they're actively watching, I don't think people are keeping HBO Max.
Oh yeah, a lot of.
I think there's a lot of shakiness on it. Whereas Disney Plus, people got it on instinct for their kids. They got it for this. HBO Max doesn't have that right now.
No, I have it because, like, obviously,
I have it because
but it's because they have constant streams of stuff I want. Yeah, there might be a month without something, but yeah, usually they have a long list of content and plans. Like, oh yeah, every month you're gonna have something to look forward to. And obviously, this upcoming month we have Moonknight, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and whatever else comes out.
Yeah, and but I think HBO Max doesn't have a constant flow of new big IP yet. They don't have that draw, that huge draw right now. Like when Game of Thrones was happening, everyone had HBO. Everybody.
And now they're bringing it back.
Everybody and their mother. Max. Yeah. So I think when House of Dragon comes out
on my birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, happy birthday present for you. It's a great.
Well, yeah, exactly. I fucking love Game of Thrones, and this is like the best birthday present that I could be like, oh my god, giving me back into Westeros.
Dude,
hopefully
more
that
Targaryen nonsense. I can't wait. I can't
Oh
wait.
yeah, but I
Can't
hope
wait.
that they learned their lessons from the last season and with pacing. That's all I gotta
Yes.
say about that because
Yeah.
that's my only issue with the last season is pacing and
Who would have
lost
thought that we were
storylines
gonna have a Lord of the Rings show and a Game of Thrones show, spin-off show, and a Halo show,
within 2
and a
weeks.
Witcher show, all doing like all relatively at the same time, right? Like it's just such a good time to be a fan, and that's what like at the end of the at the end of the day, we should just be grateful. Like I get it with the Snyder cut stuff, people are like a little edgy about it because
Mhm.
it's like they have the Snyder fans have PTSD because they fought for so long and now it's like a lull. It's like that peace after war where a soldier goes home and like loses his mind because he has nothing to fight for anymore. I feel like that's where the Snyder fans are. They need something to fight at. They need something to rebel against. And they're looking for all these other things, right? The Flash. Oh, the Flash does boycott. The Suicide Squad? Boycott. Like they're always fighting something. When we should really just take a step back and look in and be like, God, man, I saw Godzilla fight Kong this year. I saw a somewhat decent Mortal Kombat movie. Black Widow got her own movie. Like all these things. It's just a great time to be a fan of adaptations, like comic book adaptations or video game adaptations. And I don't think I think a lot of people forget about this. Forget about that fact. Like complain about complain about the Star Wars show all you want. Really do. Complain about it all you want. But 10 years ago, you wouldn't have thought that this was ever possible. Like a Star Wars TV show. You would have said, dude, shut up. Come on. That would never happen. They would never put Star Wars on TV. Well, they did. And it's not so bad. The Mandalorian's good. I don't know. Regardless of if Ezra is in the Flash, do you think that he'll be coming back after this movie?
I really don't know. Really, at this point, it's kind of all up in the air, and that's why I'm kind of just waiting for it. Like waiting to hear if they have an official statement coming out, which I don't think they'll do. I think they'll just keep it in house and just act like nothing's going on, but just handle it, and then just be like, "Oh yeah, we got rid of them or something, or we kept them."
Yeah, and yeah, I agree with Eric. HBO Max is going to have a huge pop this month. When the Batman drops on April 22nd, 19th, 19th, I think it is. I believe. But and I do, yeah, kind of Ezra is turning into the new Ray Fisher, the new Target, right? The new and it sucks, it really does. It sucks because I kind of like Ezra Miller's Flash. I really do. I just like when he's not that character. Apparently, he's just like this weird guy, and I didn't know that. But now I do. So, Ezra's been in a lot of hot water recently. And like it seems like there's something similar about it. Like, remember when he hit that lady?
I don't know. I still haven't. That's still kind of just
No,
weird to me. That whole thing's just still like what? Like what the
yeah,
hell is he doing?
yeah. From what I saw, it looked like serious. It looked serious as hell. But no, it looked staged or like joking. But then it came out that it wasn't. I don't know. And like there's something that just feels off to me about him. So now that this happened, I kind of do think that he really hit that lady or pushed that lady over or whatever it was. And it just, I don't know, man. I think if it doesn't happen now, eventually if it keeps going down this path and if he gets worse and worse and worse, the more and more money he makes, right? Because there's probably drugs involved. There's definitely alcohol involved. I feel bad for the guy. I really do. I hope you get help, Ezra. I do. or if you need help. If you don't need help and you're just being a weirdo, cut it out. Grow up. I don't know, whichever one it is. But thank you for joining tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
What did he say? No chance. No chance. He choked her. Oh, it was. I forgot it was choking. Yeah. He choked her, and then look at what he wore around his neck in his next appearance. What was it? I don't have time to look it up. Was it like hands choking somebody?
I don't know.
Was it like giant hands that were like fake choking you? But yeah, no, thanks for joining. Had a good time. And I'll be back. What's today? Today's Wednesday. I'll be back Friday. So I'm going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then one day, Saturday or Sunday, a quick one. So that'll be the new schedule for everybody. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for joining, everybody. Thank you for contributing. And again, I'm sorry that it's been a few weeks, but the content's going to start rolling out now. And look forward to our me and Black Ops interview with Chad Michael Collins. It was super fun. Chad's such a fun guy to talk to, man. I had a really good time that interview. And as always, make sure to like, share, subscribe. And if you can support the channel by becoming a member, that would mean a lot to us. You can send super chats while we're live to help support as well. But I'm going to be trying to jump on Jarbo's show and the other guys and everywhere. So, start talking more and hanging out again. But I will tell you this. For the past couple weeks that I've been out, I've been kind of watching Twitter, right? Because that's what you do, right? I still go on Twitter, but I'm more watching. And honestly, it's petty. We need to stop. It's all pettiness. There are people in this line of work that like to lie. There are people that like to get people riled up. There are people who want to be famous and they say they have scoops and they do shows from the basement and they lie. And I don't know. It's just funny to watch. It really is. You ever feel that way?
Yeah.
Like these guys need to calm down. They really do. And you know who you are. You guys need to calm down. Get a real job. All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll talk to you very, very soon.
You fucking moron! You are a fucking human piece of shit and a disgrace!